I haven't shared this story.
This is a Actor's Guide to the End of the World exclusive. Breaking news.
So, we did have that old Tom Hanks story a couple episodes ago, but this is this is just kind of fun. One of my first couple years in LA, I did background on a Tom Cruise movie.
Jesus Christ, dude. You gotta tell me more. Okay. All right. Go on.
I didn't want to oversell it.
Yeah.
So I did background on
Which
Tom
one?
Cruise movie. It was freaking the greatest thing ever. It was Collateral. He was nominated. Actually, I'm sorry, Jamie Foxx.
What a movie.
Thank you.
Michael Mann.
Thank you.
Michael Mann.
Round of applause, everyone. Round of applause, everyone. So, there's if you know the movie, you would love
I know the movie.
my scene was in the nightclub
Oh, yeah.
that Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise are both at. It's a huge fight scene, etc., etc.
Great scene. I can't believe this, man. I can't believe I have never heard this before. Go on.
At this point, this is just going to be a Tom Cruise little love fest, and then we'll call it here. So background on the set to give you an idea. Michael Mann. Now, for better or for worse, the reputation that Michael Mann has is he just burns through money, literally burns through money.
Love it.
The casting call, or at least the word on the streets, was there's an Asian nightclub scene. They were looking for authentic Asians.
Okay.
Okay, whatever that means to you, because for those that don't know, I'm not Korean, but I can play one on TV. Thank you. So, they're looking for authentic Asians, and this is where it comes to burning money. They were paying top dollar and a premium amount for background for authentic Asians.
What's top dollar in background?
Off the top of my head, back then, a non-union background would be $80-some.
Yeah.
It's not great, but at least you're on set and you can get fed and all that stuff. Union would have been essentially double that, right? Now, keep in mind, I was not in union, so I was non-union background. They just need non-union background to fill out the set. I mean, I want to say $250.
Not bad. Not bad.
So just put it in perspective. You're essentially getting 3 times what you normally would get paid.
Yeah.
And I do want to know, for those paying attention, I say authentic Asians because to give you an idea of how far entertainment has gone as far as Asian representation, usually background on TV and film, and I say this not jokingly, usually Asian people in background were actually Hispanic people
Interesting.
made to look Asian.
Okay. Made to look Asian.
If you go
I
back,
just want to achieve that.
Well, I mean, I don't want to misrepresent that. If you go back to the 80s, it was literally Hispanic people being dressed up as Asian, which is incredibly offensive and obviously not right.
To everybody, really.
But exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I don't want to obviously there's a lot of horrible Asian representation in Hollywood if you go back farther enough. But in general, if you have an Asian nightclub scene, there would be a lot of non-Asian people in the background, and people would just go with it. You know what I mean? Back to Michael Mann, he wanted top dollar for real Asians in this nightclub scene. So that's the one fun memory. The other thing I will say, from what I remember and from what Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx are literally a foot away from me. And of course, me just so enraptured by it. I'm just curious. What are they talking about? What are the stories real? Tom Cruise 100% remembers everyone's name, and this is going back to the whole Intense thing. When you go back to Intense, and it's easy to misrepresent that. He very well could be intense and focused, but if you're having a conversation with him, he's going to make you feel like you're a movie star.
Yeah.
When you're having a conversation with him, he's always going to be paying attention to you, which is actually very presidential and not off-putting, right?
Yeah.
So he really is the quintessential movie star, and supposedly he remembers everyone's name on set.
Yeah. I've heard he makes you feel like the only person in the world when you're talking to him. Like the laser focus of you are the most important person in the room when he's talking to you. Yeah. Matt Damon tells that story about him when he asked him about the stunt. It might have been the Burj Khalifa one, but he turns to him and he says, I got to ask you how to do the stunts. He goes, yeah. So, we talk it through with the stunt guy. Going to do this and this and this. The stunt guy says, no way, you can't do it. So I get a new stunt guy. So it's like,
Yeah, I love that story. And then Matt Damon's like, "Wow, you don't have to twist my arm. I would have been out with the first stunt guy."
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For people that needed the money, my roommate was not an actor. He was Asian. Oh, sure enough, he was on that set working his ass off, and we were playing cards. We were, joking around with everyone. It was a party every day, 16 hours. We were getting paid out the wazoo, and it helped him stay in LA. He didn't have a job, but he needed that side job. We worked weeks on edge.
Amazing.
I remember it was Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving morning. We got out at 10 a.m. And that was just our life for that set. One day, it very well might have been Thanksgiving or the day before, Tom Cruise got in and out for all of us. He made an announcement.
Nice.
Of course, Tom Cruise in his movie star way, he made an announcement, and he was like, guys, I'm so thankful that you guys are sticking it out, and, we're just a little bit longer, and he got everyone in and out, and, kept our spirits up. Dude, it was such a great time. So the last thing I will say, he was with a essentially famous stuntman. Of course, Tom Cruise is the star. He's choking out people who are, very established stuntmen. I want to say there was one time, and if you know the scene, you would remember it. The main guy that he's choking out in that fight scene, he literally almost put him out.
Not ideal. That's the downside of intensity, I think.
I want to say, I don't want to misrepresent that he was not safe to be around, but then again, I think it's an indication of you have one of the most established stuntman in the past 20 years, a legend, and Tom Cruise was strong enough to make it uncomfortable. Anyway, that's all I'll say about that. If you go on IMDb, the only thing that I've saw of myself is there's a shot of Jamie Foxx with his hands up. I want to see it's my noggin right behind his hands.
Nice.
And, the IMDb shot. So yeah, you might spot that.
We'll put that in the show description.
In the show notes.
Yeah.
That scene, it was a very impactful and great scene, and so on and so forth. I want to say it was 15 seconds.
Yeah, I remember the scene. Yeah, it was.
I want to say it was no more than 15 seconds, and we shot and made so much money. We shot for 3 weeks. I was still working Urban Outfitters, so I was bouncing back and forth and doubling. But that was part of my life, and it was a great
That's
time.
wild.